What's up everyone, welcome back to Ride's Own Bikes. Today, we've got something really special lined up for you, something that fans have been waiting for over 2 decades. Yes, the legend has returned. We're talking about the 2026 Yamaha RX 100, a name that has stirred the emotions of bike enthusiasts across India and beyond. For years, the RX 100 has been a symbol of raw riding pleasure, lightweight agility, and unforgettable two-stroke charm. Now Yamaha has brought it back in a modern avatar, promising to keep the spirit alive while making it fit for today's roads and regulations. In this video we're going to take a deep dive into what makes the 2026 RX 100 worth the hype, its performance aspects, design choices, price expectations, and most importantly, whether it still carries that magic spark that the original was loved for. Stick with us till the end, and I'll give you my honest verdict on who this bike is really for. The original RX 100 became famous in the 80s and 90s because it delivered something unique for its time. It was small, yes, but it packed a punch. Riders fell in love with the responsiveness, the iconic exhaust note, the simplicity of its mechanics, and the sheer fun of wringing out every last drop of power. It wasn't just a bike, it was a culture. Fast forward to today, Yamaha has decided to bring that name back. And of course expectations are sky high. The question is, how close can this new machine get to the original legend? Let's talk about the hardware first. At the heart of the new RX 100 sits a 98cc single-cylinder engine. Unlike the smoky two-stroke of the past, this is a clean, modern setup designed to meet today's emission norms while still giving riders that lively character. The motor makes around 11 PS of peak power at about 7,500 revolutions per minute and 10.39 Nm of torque at 6,500 revolutions per minute. Those aren't earth-shattering numbers on paper, but remember, the bike is light and meant to be nimble, so the power-to-weight ratio is where the magic happens. The gearbox is a 4-speed manual, just like the classic, keeping things simple and direct. Kickstart only may feel old school, but it ties directly into the nostalgia factor Yamaha is clearly aiming for. Braking is handled by drums on both wheels, which again might surprise riders used to discs and ABS. But Yamaha has leaned fully into the retro identity here, choosing to stick to basics rather than load it up with tech. Suspension is conventional as well. Telescopic forks at the front and adjustable twin shocks at the back. On the road this means comfort and ease of maintenance rather than razor-sharp handling. But that's in line with the RX's DNA. The wheels are 18 inches front and rear, shod with tube tires, and the overall stance is unmistakably retro. In terms of numbers, the RX 100 is expected to top out at around 110 km per hour. That's plenty for city commuting and short highway bursts, though it's not intended as a long-distance cruiser. Fuel economy should hover around 35 kmpl, which is decent for a small-capacity bike, though not as frugal as modern commuters in this segment. The tank holds roughly 10 liters, which translates to a usable range of 300 to 350 km depending on riding style. Ground clearance is 136 mm. The wheelbase is just under 1,250 mm, and the saddle height is a friendly 765 mm, making it accessible for most riders. But let's be honest, the RX 100 isn't about the numbers, it's about the feel. When you ride it, the lightweight makes starting through traffic easy. The engine, while not as raw as the old two-stroke, still gives you a responsive mid-range that makes overtakes fun. The kickstart has its own ritualistic charm, and the analog dials staring back at you keep things simple and distraction-free. No TFT, no Bluetooth, no riding modes, just a speedometer, odometer, and fuel gauge. Yamaha knows exactly who they're targeting here: riders who want the purity of a bike without digital clutter. Design-wise, Yamaha has nailed the retro brief. The tank has those muscular curves that instantly remind you of the original. Paint options are expected to include heritage shades like candy red, pearl white, and black, paired with chrome and polished metal touches. The seat is long and flat, perfect for 2 riders, and the exhaust has that iconic straight pipe look. though of course the sound will be cleaner compared to the smoky roar of the 80s. Indicators and the round headlamp stick with halogen bulbs, again chosen for the old-school vibe. Spoked wheels complete the throwback silhouette, giving it that unmistakable RX100 identity. Now, what about the price? Yamaha is expected to position the RX100 between 1.25 and 1.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. That's not exactly budget commuter territory, but it's not supposed to be. This bike is aimed at enthusiasts, collectors, and nostalgic buyers who value style and heritage. Against rivals like the Honda SP125 or Hero Glamour's Tech, the RX100 might look under-specced, but those bikes can't match its emotional pull. For someone who grew up hearing stories of the RX100, this is about owning a piece of history, not about chasing fuel efficiency or smartphone connectivity. So what makes this bike unique in 2026? First and foremost, the legacy. Yamaha has tapped into a nameplate that carries decades of respect and desire. Second, the simplicity. While most modern bikes are loaded with electronics, the RX100 is refreshingly analog, which means easy maintenance and less to go wrong. Third, the style. Ride this to a meet, park it at a cafe / copyright, and people will turn their heads. The RX100 is as much a fashion statement as it is a commuter. Fourth, the agility. Lightweight and compact, it's a dream in crowded city streets. Finally, the exclusivity. It's not for everyone, and Yamaha knows that, which makes it even more appealing for those who want to stand apart. Of course, there are trade-offs. Drum brakes in 2026 will feel outdated for many, and the lack of ABS is a genuine safety concern. Kickstart only will be a hassle in cold mornings or for riders who prefer electric start convenience. And while the design is charming, the performance won't satisfy riders looking for a long-haul highway speed or advanced features. But if you understand what the RX100 is and isn't, those compromises make sense. So who should buy the new RX100? If you're a rider who values history, style, and the joy of a simple machine, this bike is made for you. If you're new to biking and want something light, fun, and easy to handle, it's a fantastic starter option. But if you want advanced features, ABS braking, digital dashboards, or high mileage numbers, then there are better alternatives out there. In the end, the 2026 Yamaha RX100 is not just another bike launch, it's a revival of a legend, a love letter to riders who grew up on stories of the original, and a statement that sometimes less is more. With its retro looks, modest yet playful performance, and a price point aimed at enthusiasts rather than commuters, it's bound to carve its own niche in the market. For me, this bike is about soul over specs, feeling over features, and nostalgia over novelty, and that's exactly why the RX100 will always matter. Thanks for watching Rides Own Bikes. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the new RX100, hit that like button, subscribe for more bike reviews and updates, and let us know in the comments if this is the bike you've been waiting for. Until next time, ride safe, ride free, and keep the passion alive.